Good evening, friends. Welcome to another episode of the Story of the Storyteller. Dear friends, today as I talk, the COVID cases across the country has touched 3.54 million cases, 35,40,000 cases. Nearly 77,000 cases per day have been reported. These cases are the highest single day spike in the entire world, my dear friends. After 6 months, these cases are the highest in the world. Truly Vishwaguru indeed, as Modi has envisaged India to become one. Friends, 6 months after the first lockdown and the fourth unlock which happened, which was announced yesterday, Modi, our Prime Minister Mr. Modi, who said Jaan bhi or Jahan bhi to start with, has now lifted his hands and says act of God, my dear friends. Abhi Jaan bhi gaya, Jahan bhi gaya. Jaan bhi gaya ka matlab hai 64,000 people have lost lives in our country as I talk today. Jahan bhi gaya means our livelihood too has gone. Our economy has gone for a toss. A few reports say that GDP contraction will be as high as -4 to -5%. Government has lifted its hands in the recent all-state meeting of the GST Council, wherein as per the GST agreement, all the shortfall of the GST, the centre should have given to the states, and that is, as per reports, 3 lakh crores is due to all states. For Karnataka alone, nearly 14,000 crores is due, my dear friends. Now, is it act of God or act of demons or act of fraud is what you all have to decide, my dear friends. I feel it's an act of fraud by the central government to all the states whose resources are today meager and who are in actual terms the implementing agencies to fight COVID in this country. The new cases curve or the death curve is showing no sign of flattening, my dear friends. It's on the rise day by day. It is because of unscientific lockdown and unlock by this Modi government, which is the main reason that we are losing lives. Jaan bhi ja raha hai, our livelihood jahan bhi ja raha hai. We will all shortly see 1 lakh cases per day, my dear friends. Today we have reached somewhere around 77,000. In few days, in another 15-20 days, we will reach 1 lakh cases per day. That means every month 3 million new cases will come, my dear friends. Just imagine the tragedy that India has to face. Still no state, single state is showing signs of curve flattening in terms of new cases or deaths, my dear friends. And most populous states, the Bimaru states like UP, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, where huge amounts of population are there, still the disease, the COVID is at an initial phase. It has not reached community spread has not happened till now. The cases are still at a native stage. And once when there is community spread in these highly populous states, my dear friends, then this Modi government will leave us to the fate of God, my dear friends. They have already said it's hand of God. They have already said, they have lifted their hands and say they have no role, nothing more than this. Just visualizing it, my dear friends, sends shivers into my body. But this thick-skinned, insensitive PM is busy feeding peacocks for photo sessions and invoking the name of God by his inefficient Finance Minister, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman. Now as we ponder, my dear friends, is this Modi government really capable of handling this crisis, COVID crisis, and reviving our economy? Past records or these records for the last 3 to 4 months show the answer is no, my dear friends. Rural distress is evident. In spite of good monsoons, in spite of they getting a good harvest, because of lack of consumption, they might not get good rates for their harvest. Because of reduction of consumption, the rates for all their produce will come down. Rural consumption since 2015 has fallen, my dear friends, in India. Post-demonetization, the backbone of rural economy, which used to live on unorganized economy, has taken a hit. And the rural consumption has come down by a record 8.8%, my dear friends. As far as urban distress, my dear friend, there are nearly 86.1 million salaried jobs in 2019-20. From April to August this year, ever since the pandemic has struck, 19.6 million jobs, salaried jobs, we have lost, my dear friends. That is nearly 22% of the total salaried jobs we have lost. Forget about the unorganized sectors. In the unorganized sectors, we have lost crores of jobs. But the government says that in the informal sectors, jobs have increased. But that, in fact, is in the agri sector, my dear friends, where a lot of migrants from the cities who went to rural, in the same 1 acre of land where 2 laborers used to work, now 4 laborers are working of the family. Earlier 2 in the family used to go to the cities to work, 2 used to work in the farm. Now those 2 have come back. Government is showing, since 4 are working, there's an increase in jobs. Actually, there will not be any increase in productivity. Their wages, earlier 2 guys used to get wage in 1 acre of farm, now 4 guys will get. That means they will get less wages per 1 acre of farm. Now coming back to the urban distress, my dear friends, in the formal sector, the salaried jobs, now in the tourism sector, the wage bill has come down by nearly 30%. In the hotel sector and restaurant sector, nearly 20%. Road transport, nearly 27%. We have lost jobs, or wage bill of the companies have come down. Education sector, 28% has come down. Real estate, 21%. Telecom is the only sector which has grown by 10%. You name the companies. Schneider Electric, you name Tata Motors, so many companies. Every company's wage bill has taken a hit in this 4 to 5 months, my dear friends. Job losses for the 6 months of Modi period, from March till August this month, is the worst in this century, my dear friends. This will lead to social distress, social disharmony, and the quality of life of all Indians will come down, my dear friends. In fact, I want to tell you, economic competence of this Modi government is lacking, my dear friends. They don't want to take the advice of well-known economists, because of their arrogance. They will not listen to well-known economists. They want their G. Huzur type of bureaucrats. And the G. Huzur type of bureaucrats which they have, their skill set or competence level is so low that they don't really understand what is the problem, how to revive this economy. The problem is they don't know how to revive this economy. Unless and until you don't know what, you accept that there is a problem, the solution can never be found. The distance to the solution will be far away, because in fact you have not understood, or you are not ready to agree that there is a problem in this economy. They are hiding data. NSSO, the firm which used to give statistics on employment generation and all this, they have stopped data. CAG, which used to give data, earlier CAG during UPA governments used to present to the parliament nearly, 60-70 reports they used to present. Today, I was shocked to see only 6 to 7 reports being presented. The parliament session which is going to come in the next 1 or 2 weeks, the question hour and the 0 hour also, the speaker is planning to remove. That means, they want to give less space for the opposition to talk. Reports and data are fudged. They fear the real figures, which when the people come to know, they are going to act against these people. My dear friends, Professor Jayanti Ghosh says, Modi failed because lockdown was there when it should not have been there. When the cases were low, lockdown was there. When the cases are high and there is a community spread, the unlock is happening. And she goes on to add, the worst is yet to come, is what she says. She says, after another 3 months, everything will be visible. The naked emperor will be in fact naked. How long can you cover your inefficiencies, my dear friends? Today, yes, by fudging data, by, faking data. Now you'll be able to fool people. But economy is a big leveler. You cannot hide, your fake things, in a macro economy. Economy will at last show its true color. She says, crores of job losses will be there. Small businesses will be shut down. Social disharmony will be there. People will be suffering. And this suffering will wreck the nation, is what she said in an interview to Sujit Nair yesterday. In fact, if you look at all the three drivers of the economy, what are the three drivers of the economy? The consumption, the investment and the exports. As I already said, urban consumption is barely on par. There is no increase in consumption. In fact, during the demonetization days, it is low. As I already said, rural consumption is down 8.8%, and since 2015, rural consumption is low. Investment, as you all know, those are all fake figures. Exports, when under UPA 1, exports grow at 100%. UPA 2, under Manmohan Singh, exports grow at a whopping 69%. Today, under Modi, for the first 5 years of Modi, it has grown by just 10%. And in the 1 year of the Modi second stint, it has grown by -2%. In fact, when I see all these things, my dear friends, I doubt Modi has the required skill set to revive the economy in this pandemic situation. In fact, Jayanti Ghosh yesterday said, the government should have raised demand through DBT for 3 months, at least for 80% of the poor households in this country. She in fact said food security to people for the 6 months, for the next 6 months also is a must. Because it is because of an unscientific lockdown that people have lost their livelihood. People lost their lives also, people are losing their livelihood also. They have lost their dear ones also, the next 6 months also is under distress. And all our godowns are full of grains. What do? Ultimately, rats and rodents will eat that. Instead of that, let us distribute these food grains to people so that they don't starve. We don't lose people, lives due to starvation. Employment generation, my dear friends, has to in fact double, is what Jayanti Ghosh says. And genuine package to MSMEs is a must. Why I say genuine package is, MSMEs contribute to nearly 50% jobs in the organized sector as well as in the unorganized sector, because a lot of auxiliary units will be there which will give jobs to daily wage across the unit. When I say genuine package, means not this 20 lakhs Jumla package what Nirmala Sitharaman announced. Nearly 2 to 3 months have passed since this package has been announced. You show me one MSME which says that yes, I have got this package. Hardly, my dear friends, only 2 lakh crores out of this 20 lakh package that Nirmala Sitharaman has reached the MSMEs. And this is nothing, it is peanuts when you consider the size of the MSME and the amount of employment generation these MSMEs do to the Indian population. Second thing is, the fifth thing I would like to tell is, the Modi government should give money to the state governments, because it is the states which are the implementing agencies during the COVID crisis. It's not Modi government. The states which take up all relief work, which take up all work related to COVID. But now we are seeing, GST, they are pulling out the compensation, which is a fraud on part of Modi government. The tax devolution, as per the Finance Commission also, 14th Finance Commission also should be done with care, my dear friends. Poverty elevation programs, in fact, rural and Manrega should double. Modi government should look at urban job guarantee schemes for this COVID, till COVID cases come down. Hence, my dear friends, if you actually look at where we are, UPA brought up nearly 40 crore of India's population out of poverty. Now, from below poverty, they brought them out above poverty. With all this crisis, right from demonetization, a faulty GST, a faulty COVID handling, has led to nearly 40 crores of Indian population has gone into poverty during Modi's period because of demonetization, faulty GST and bad COVID handling, whereas 25 crore people were lifted out of poverty by Dr. Manmohan Singh. Hence, my dear friends, until Modi does this sort of demand creation activities, initiatives, people will again get fooled with fake nationalism narrative of this Modi government and will suffer the worst socio-economic tsunami of this century. Jai Hind.